What does it look like to be a servant-hearted leader? Well, we find that there's many attitudes to leadership today in the church, and a wise sort of father in God once said to me, I am the church's servant, but it will never be my master. And I thought, when I thought about it, I thought, that's very wise. I have found leaders who feel that they are almost at the beck and call of their church. They feel they can never have a day off, they can never switch off, they've got to be constantly responding to needs, crises, all sorts of stuff, and it's almost a slavery rather than a servanthood. Whereas a servant is someone who serves people in order for them to mature enough so they don't then need the serving anymore in that same way. So for me, the church is not about hiring a pastor who does it all. The church is about the leaders equipping the church so the church is able to one another itself. It's able to do all the ministry itself. I believe in the priesthood of all believers. So leaders are there to serve, to facilitate, to equip, to empower. If you look at it this way, leadership is to define the guidelines and then release people. So we shouldn't be, as leaders, those who are running around like headless chickens doing everything. We should be those who are looking to find the gifting in amongst the congregation and serving people so that they come into all their gifting, expressing their gifting in a mature way, the likeness of Christ, being fruitful in the earth. So for me, even in leadership, I believe that church leadership teams should be a team that has a leader rather than a leader that has a team. It's very much a collection of gifts together. So servant-hearted ministry, in its essence, is empowering, it's releasing, but it's not being used as a doormat. It's not being used to get by people as almost like a consumer mentality. Well, if I can't get the service I need here, I'll go to another church. That's just as bad. So servant-heartedness, being humble, being accessible, being vulnerable, being transparent, all of those things, I think a leader has to live with those kind of qualities. Paul was able to say, you know how I've lived among you. He was displaying, he wasn't just teaching them how to live, he showed them how to live. So proximity is important. I believe letting people get close to your life, close to the way you live your personal life is really important. And that comes out of servant-heartedness, not being aloof, not being distant, not having separate rooms for leaders, separate kind of things that leaders do and no one can get near them. I don't find that in the New Testament at all. It's brothers and sisters together on a mission.